Hi, welcome to the Big Time Paranormal Report. My name is Larry Gonzalez and I'm very grateful that you're here. We have a lot to cover and the news has a little of everything. So, like I said, we're going to get right into it. So, the first thing we're going to talk about now, there's a video that's going around on Facebook. I've seen it. I have my doubts. I'm very skeptical about it, but I'll let you guys look at it and you can decide for yourself if it's real or not. Take a look at this. Okay, so again, I'm very skeptical about the video. I don't know. I mean, the guy's wearing a hood the whole time, so you can't see his face or anything. The next story, now this is an odd story. Yeah, as long as I've been doing this, I always run into stories that just amaze me. In France, an apartment was sold, and what am I telling you? Take a look at this video.
A French man recently found a mummy in his new apartment, and if that wasn't weird enough, the years-old body was perfectly preserved. The man bought the apartment at auction after it was repossessed, but clearly no one thought to check the apartment before the sale. The new owner couldn't even get inside without the help of a locksmith. And once they opened the door, what they found was a hanging body. Apparently, it was the previous tenant, a 40-year-old Cambodian man who had hung himself with a bedsheet. What was remarkable about the body was that it had been hanging there since at least 2005, but was in perfect condition. Investigators are looking into the mystery.
"8 years, man." Yeah, poor guy. Now, what the video is not telling you is that the people in the apartment building thought that he went back to his home country. And so when they had the mail, they just took the mail from his mailbox and just stuffed it through the door, not knowing that he was dead inside. And then, of course, family didn't know that he had passed on because he was living in another country. So unfortunately, this guy, he was hanging there for 8 years. It's actually quite sad. But anyway, sorry that happened. Now, the next one. Now, I'm really glad that the scientific community is taking a look more into cryptozoology. Recently, they announced that the Yeti is a real creature. And they did some DNA testing, and it's pretty interesting what they found. Take a look at this.
Incredible claim by a respected Oxford researcher. He says he has proof that the Yeti, the abominable snowman of the Himalayas, is in fact real, and its descendants are alive. ABC's Nick Watt has the story.
The centuries-old myth of the Yeti, fueled by those grainy photographs, the monstrous footprints, and our wild imaginations, might not be a myth after all.
I've collected hair samples from creatures that are thought to have been Yetis.
One hair from a weird creature shot by a Himalayan bear hunter 40 years ago, the other found stuck to a bamboo shoot in a forest by a film crew just 10 years ago. Now, the DNA from those mysterious Himalayan hairs, he says, just proved a 100% match with an ancient polar bear that died on an Arctic island more than 40,000 years ago, leading our hirsute professor to make a startling claim. Yeti lives.
It's some kind of new bear species. It might be a hybrid.
Smaller, says the professor, than the Yetis we've seen in Monsters, Inc.
Do I look abominable to you?
Or that towering claymation Yeti in those old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer TV specials. Perhaps, says the professor, polar bears crossbred with brown bears tens of thousands of years ago, and their mysterious descendants survive to this day, roaming high in these snowy mountains. For Good Morning America, Nick Watt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Yeti. Yeah, only if they would do that with Bigfoot. Now, this one is a bit odd. An oarfish washes ashore on Oceanside here in California. And there was another one that washed up. Now, this is very unusual, as you'll see in the video, that something like this was to happen once. Twice? Take a look at this.
Tonight, 10 News viewers tipped us to a major discovery in Oceanside of a creature rarely seen by humans. But what makes this sighting of an oarfish even more puzzling is it's the second one to wash up on a Southern California beach just this week. 10 News reporter Riel Creighton is in the live center with who showed up when we went to investigate. Riel.
Right, this is actually what it looks like swimming deep underwater. Strange for just about everyone who saw its lifeless body, but even more so when it washes up dead Oceanside twice in 1 week. What appeared in Oceanside this afternoon, the lesson of a lifetime for a group of third graders on a beach trip.
Well, I was like, wow, that's an oarfish, and because we're studying it in class and stuff, and I was amazed. Part amazing, part gruesome for some, but so interesting.
It was hard. Rock hard. I was thinking, I have no idea what that is. I'm like, it looks like a snake, but it kind of looks like a giant eel.
The tail's a little bit cut off.
A giant, dead 13-foot oarfish, a deep water creature that swims at up to 3,000 feet below the surface. An unusual find even for the scientist who came to collect it.
It's so rare to find in Southern California, especially in surface water.
And the second time it's happened this week. This, the picture of the even bigger 15-foot oarfish carcass that washed ashore off the coast of Catalina Wednesday.
They thought it was a very rare event the first time. So this is these two events that we heard of in the last few weeks are the only ones I've ever heard of.
More poking and prodding to come as scientists plan to slice it up for further inspection. Right, baffling to scientists even now, but they think that previous 15-foot oarfish likely died of natural causes. In the 10 News Live Center, Riel Creighton, back to you.
So what's going on in the oceans that's caused two of them to come aboard, come on shore? I don't know. My cat. Anyway, no, they don't come on shore because of my cat. He's down there. Anyway, so who knows what's going on in the ocean that caused two of them to come up like that? Now, the next story, we're going to go more into UFOs. Peru has announced that they're going to restart their department on studying UFOs. So take a look at this.
The Peruvian Air Force will launch a specialized department this coming Friday, October 18, 2013, that will study the UFO phenomenon. The Anomalous Aerial Phenomenon Research Department, DIFAA, will be formally launched in Lima, Peru. Peruvian Air Force that will formally host the new UFO department. The new department will be directly assisted by a civilian advisory council. The announcement of the upcoming launch of DIFAA was officially released by Giorgio Piacenza, who is a member of the inaugural Civilian Advisory Council and an advisor to the Exopolitics Institute. In his announcement, Mr. Piacenza said the Civilian Advisory Council comprises researchers, scientists, intellectuals and former Air Force officers. Several of the council members previously served in a forerunner to the new department that also studied the UFO phenomenon. He went on to say in his announcement that many countries in the Latin American region are actively pursuing a similar path to legitimate these issues and overcome the unnecessary stigma attached to reporting about UFOs and the possible or real extraterrestrial presence.
So it's nice to see that governments are taking UFOs a little bit more serious. You know, of course, you know, when you start seeing multiple UFOs over your airspace and they're not yours, of course you're going to take an interest. If nothing else, national security. Now, the next story, remember that big asteroid that lit up the skies and exploded over Russia last, I don't know, was it a year ago? Gosh, time goes by. Anyway, they finally pulled out the biggest piece out of the waters there in Russia. Yeah, take a look at what they found.
Spectacular images of the moment the Chelyabinsk meteorite arrived on Earth were beamed all over the world. Now, Wednesday, just over 8 months later, Russian divers retrieved the largest fragment of the space rock so far. Divers have spent 2 months searching the bottom of a lake for remnants of the meteorite that exploded over the southern Urals on February 15th.
Судя по первичному осмотру и по признакам, характерным для метеорита каменного, можно сказать, что этот фрагмент является метеоритом Челябинска.
Divers and scientists weighing it used a giant steelyard balance, which displayed 1,256 pounds before it broke. The force of the shockwave that injured more than 1,600 people when the meteorite landed was estimated as being as strong as 20 Hiroshima atomic bombs.
That's a big meteorite. Wow. Can you imagine if that landed in, say, New York City or something? That's pretty much it for the news for this week. Now we're going to go into the special report. Now, with Halloween just around the corner, I thought, what is more scarier than your child disappearing? As a parent, that was something that my wife and I always worry about when it comes to our daughter. You know, she's 19 now, but when she was younger, of course, we worried. So, what better story, paranormal story, to present than the legend of the Slender Man? Take a look at this documentary.
Done his first day at his new school here, Tulsa. After the big move. There you can see him. John! Johnny! Johnny, say hi, son. I don't know where you ran out. Hey, Johnny! Hey!
Quiet down. John is in peace.
Okay.
You'll stop all this and come with me. You aren't coming back. John is gone. Put that away. Put that away.
Yeah, the Slender Man. That's pretty scary within itself. Now, of course, you can go on YouTube and look for the Slender Man. You can see the whole documentary. We took about maybe 3/4 of the video and showed it to you. We try not to make it too long for you guys. We don't like you guys falling asleep on us. So that's pretty much it for our special report. Now, last week I had spoken about presenting more family-friendly movies, Halloween movies. So we decided to put a little montage of family-friendly movies for Halloween. So take a look at this video that my daughter actually put together. Okay, so there's tons of movies out there. When you look at TV, AMC has played some really great movies on there. TCM, Turner Classic Movies, just the other night they had a Vincent Price marathon. So just look around the dial. ABC Family has something going on. Even the cooking, well, not the cooking channel, the it's not the cooking channel, it's the Food Network. They've been having some specials with Halloween, carving pumpkins. It's amazing. My wife made me watch it. I couldn't stop watching it. So there's stuff all over the place. So, you know, I want all of you to have a good Halloween. The season is just starting. Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, then New Year's. So you go out there and have fun. Watch the little kids. If you yourself is trick-or-treating, then be careful. And if you're having parties, you know, be careful when you drink and drive. Make sure that, well, don't drink and drive. If you drink, have somebody else drive. But have fun, and never know what's going to happen. Anyway, I wanted to make sure that I played one more video at the end. But for now, I want to say thank you. Come on over to Big Time Paranormal on Facebook. Give us a like. And I can't thank you guys enough for being here each and every week. And I know that we have ideas and plans that are going to go into place as time goes by. But we'll let you guys know about it. And we had our Halloween party with the paranormal team that we were part of, and we have something brewing, and I hope it works out. And if it does, then I'll make sure to post it on here. You guys will actually see it, and I'm pretty excited about it. I really hope it works out. So remember, for Maria Gonzalez, Casey Rodriguez, Julia Di Maria, and the staff at Worldwide Paranormal Network, WWPN. I am Larry Gonzalez, and remember, today is your day. Go out and make it happen.